he's always going to be looking for those moments.
I think taking on c6, it's just every decision.
Just to simplify, yeah.
It's just to simplify, but he's being like, you know what? I won't trade yet. I'm going to let you trade, or you have those decisions. Maybe psychologically he'll feel a bit worse if it feels like he's the one just like forcing trades and like really pushing that. But it was totally fine in MVL now. So maybe this could be a regret depending on how the game goes. Arjun had an opportunity to trade. He has a different way of trying to win this match, Amon. He could have traded, and that was totally fine. I really think it takes away some of the opportunities to lose by getting rid of that knight. When there are 2 knights on the board, there's forks, there's dynamic potential. But at the same time, Arjun's being like, if you don't trade, I'll have a better position. And he's demonstrating that. Look at this knight to f3 move. He's ready to push that e4 pawn to e5 because it's no longer pinned. And slowly but surely, white has the Morozzi bind structure. The d5 break is no longer possible. The b5 break is no longer possible. The knight on g6, without more help, isn't really doing anything on the f4 pawn. So white might be preparing to double rooks on the d file, maybe preparing to play pawn e4 to e5, and just squeeze the life out of the position. When I go pawn e4 to e5, then I might go queen e4. Then I can actually maybe even offer a queen trade, but under good circumstances, with a nice and healthy space advantage. And what I really want to do, MVL is a tactical player. I don't want that queen on b7. I don't want any diagonals. I don't want any pins. And look at that move, Amon.
I mean,
wow.
We could just say time and time again that b5 is not possible, but look at b5, proving us wrong. MVL goes for the typical break, but I'm telling you, this is the most atypical move you will ever see. b5 has never looked like this. It can be taken 2 different ways. If it's captured with the knight, the e4 pawn loses protection. Knight takes b5, knight takes e4. If it's captured with the pawn, bishop b4, and immediately you have the idea of capturing, taking on e4, the entire complexion of the game has changed. And if MVL takes on e4, Eric, and then also manages to put pressure on b5, he's doing quite well, especially when you think of he needs to win.
He has the imbalance that he was looking for. He is very happy with this, but at the end of the day, he earned it. That b5 move is so easy to miss. It looked so defended, so protected. But now all of a sudden, white, like MVL doesn't mind losing because he's in a must-win situation.
Exactly.
So white has a 3-on-1 when you look at the b file, the double pawns. It can be supported in the future when you drop back your bishop. You can play a4 after bishop d4. You can get this majority going at the same time. Black has that queen on b7, the 5-on-3 on the king side. He's going to attack the king. He's going for the win. So maybe I want to prepare. Maybe I play pawn f5 and I just keep my knight on e4 harassing. Maybe I go pawn d5. Maybe I go pawn d6 and try to play e5. No matter what, we know MVL is going to play on the king side because that's where he has an advantage. And Arjun's job is to push the queen side and reduce black to a passive position by forcing his hand, by getting a pass pawn or a threat big enough that MVL is going to have to start watching over that. So I don't know how that's going to look. h4, this fishing move, yes, he's creating more weaknesses around. At the end of the day, he still needs more. He needs more. How does he generate pressure on the knight on f3? It can be pinned in the future, but right now there's no good square to do that. h4 is a tricky move. In some positions, you don't take on g3, you just leave it there, harass your opponent, and maybe you wait long enough, there might be a right time to play h3 check. And when you ever get a pawn on h3 and it stays there, then you have mating ideas, then you have back rank ideas. So he's fishing, and he's doing a good job of that. But Arjun, not down too much on the clock, so not phased too much yet. But this is a critical moment. How does he stop MVL's initiative?
And I think it's clear that you don't want to play d5. I think a lot of MVL's play is coming from that queen on b7. Amazing long diagonal. So I liked your idea of f5. Then also maybe the knight on g6. Yes, it's threatening the f pawn right now, so h4 is possible, but once you deal with h4, maybe capture on g3, maybe play h3. I think you want to reroute that knight to the e7 square. Knight e7, knight f5, knight e7, knight d5, coupled with your f5 move. I think that the knights want to occupy those light squares in the center, and there will be a lot of threats that Arjun will have to deal with.
Playing on the light squares is definitely right, so I don't know. f5 is a move, but moving a knight to f5 is a move. You know, I was thinking about with f5, I might want to play king f7 in the future. But
I like
knight d6, opening up that diagonal for the queen, preparing for that to go to f5. I also don't mind that. Like, lots of tricky moves for MVL here. He's got to be happy with how the position has changed, and white is under pressure. White is absolutely under pressure.
We
here.
talked about, the queenside play for white. It should be noted, queen e3 actually did put pressure on a7. So you could play a move like bishop takes a7 here, and he actually did it. I wasn't sure if he would follow through on it here. I was going to say knight f5 plus the move h3, and, everything is getting destabilized a little bit. Eric, I think this is a moment for Maxime to really strike. He needs something aggressive because the bishop on a7 has got away with a free one, and e5 has been played.
He needs to do it while the bishop's there. It's out of play. White's moving backwards, and look at this e5 move. You're threatening maybe e4. Why e4? You can go e3 check in the future. If the queen blocks on f3, there might be a knight h4 check, forking the queen. So this is a huge move, because Arjun realizes now his king side is crumbling.
Yeah.
And when your king side is crumbling, you want to trade off the queens. That queen on b7 is such a menace, but you can't trade it off. You go queen b6, I go queen a8, or queen e4. You're not booting me off. After king h2, as I said, the king side is being blown up. Whether or not he survives is a different thing. But Black's goal was to find targets.
He absolutely
target
did.
is right there on f4.
He absolutely did. This game, look at the position. The white king is completely open. There's only one pawn spanning from the c to the h file. Knight h6, immediate threat on g4. And the queen on f2 has to stay guarding the bishop on a7. It's very annoying. We might also see a move like d6, queen d7. That queen can shift over to the king side very, very easily. So this is exactly the game that MVL wants. He's up almost a minute and a half, and Eric, he is generating some serious threats. He's not winning just yet, but this is the exact game that he needs.
2 knights, and they have targets, they have forks. Arjun is up 3 pawns on the queen side, but he has no time to push any of them. No time to use that at all. So in the context of the game, Black is doing well. Even just objectively, Black is doing very, very well here. His initiative has come in first. White moving the king to g3. That's certainly not what you signed up for. And look at that. Okay, knight g5, queen here. The good thing for Arjun, though, is his bishop's no longer hanging.
Queen f3.
So queen f3 is that stable move he's been looking for that he couldn't get away with. So MVL, in the last couple of moves, it makes sense to transfer the queen over, but was it the right time? Because allowing Arjun to put his queen on f3, covering that long diagonal, covering g4, that looks like a huge improvement.
And you know what? I could even see some positions where white loses potentially a knight, some material. And don't forget, there's 3 connected pass pawns on the queen side. So as long as you maybe trade the queens, even if you lose a knight as well, the queen side is completely over for MVL. So you have to be very, very careful that your attack actually crashes through, because the game's going to end if you don't succeed on the king side here.
Yeah, b6 and b7, that's only 2 squares away. That bishop pushes it through. This is time for a big move for Black. And if I'm Black, I know for sure I need to keep the queens on the board, and I need to improve my knights.
Well, there's a move. It seems like MVL always finds a way to try to rise to the occasion. He found b5. He found e5. Now he's coming with knight e5. If you take it, the g5 knight is also hanging. Queen e4. Surely it's queen g4. What the heck is happening?
What a sharp position. So many things are happening. Is that king safe on f2? The good thing for Arjun, he can allow a perpetual.
That's right.
MVL has to go for more than that. So you can't just keep checking. You need to check with purpose. What you really want to do is put Arjun's king on a square that's vulnerable to checks, and then keep it there. You don't want to check it away from that. You just want a chaotic board where the king is in the middle, and you have all these forks and things to watch out for.
You know what I realized? Queen h7 exists. It's there for later. So as soon as the position's not checked, it's actually MVL that has to be really careful. If you play knight g4 here, Eric, I don't even know what's happening. Queen h7 might even lead to a mate for white.
Yeah, queen h7 is very close to a mate. And now we have a critical decision. He's almost running out of checks.
Yep. He decided to block queen h7, but look, it's almost like white is on the attack now. The bishop's coming back, hitting the queen. The queen h1 is covered by the queen on e4. There's no more checks, and those pawns are rolling.
White is on the attack because Black can't afford to trade. He's using that against him. Queen h5, if queen f3, he's going to go knight g4. Is that enough? I'm not sure, but he knows for sure I cannot trade queens under any circumstance. Arjun's using that to his advantage, but guess what? He's down a minute and a half plus.
Yep.
So this continues. This position, the queen's on the board with like less than a minute. Oh, that is so hard to play, even if you calculate amazingly. Arjun's playing great defense here, but he can't afford to keep going down on the clock.
He can't afford to keep thinking. He needs to make a move.
So,
if anything, b6. If you're not sure, I think b6 works.
And
We
just move
know
your
that
bit-
g4. Did he find the right idea?
Is that getting the queens off?
Look at MVL's face. He knows that was a huge find right there. If the queens get traded, as I mentioned earlier, even at the cost of, maybe all the pawns on the king side, it doesn't matter. Those pawns on the queen side will win the game.
Incredible. The queen cannot move. We have a queen trade, and Aman.
He spent time. He invested time in that move. That was the right decision, Eric. Even though he spent like 30 seconds on it, he's completely winning here.
So if you go rook b7, you can't go. Well, you can go b6,
Right.
but you're allowing knight e3 check. It
Yep.
could still be fine.
I would have considered it, but no, he's going back bishop d4, wants to advance slowly, bit by bit, but he needs to get things going. He only has a minute, and look how fast MVL is playing. He has 2 minutes and 39 seconds, but he's playing like he has 10 seconds because he's trying to put the pressure on.
Here come the pawns. And now white can afford to give back material because connected pass pawns usually overwhelm a rook, especially if you have additional pieces. So the problem with MVL is he can't even win material here. He can't. He needs to just prolong the game. Material's not enough. He's down too much.
He's
No,
pushing
that's
all
not-
the way.
That's not it.
Oh my goodness,
That's not it.
d2 is available, forks the rooks, but there's a rook hanging on b7, so these pawns are going all the way.
You can maybe play rook d1.
Yep.
MVL is doing the right thing. He's not winning material. That's not enough. He has to keep the board dynamic, make the decisions hard.
40 seconds.
confuse.
Eric, this is a time trial at this point. Can Arjun win before time expires?
He's willing to give up in exchange.
He's losing an entire rook
Yes.
here.
Two connected pawns on
We've
the
talked
6th.
about how strong they are.
Oh,
Knight
what a
g3.
move, what a move. But wait.
What the heck is happening here? There's also no good checks because the knight on
But he
g3
can
will be
push-
hanging.
Oh, no, he didn't need to do that. His king was safe.
If the queen moves, the g3 knight can be taken
What
here.
a find.
And this position, it doesn't even matter anymore because it's messy. This is exactly what MVL needs for a flag.
Yeah, white could still be winning or doing really well, but no time. Those pawns, you want to push them, but you have to watch out for checkmate. They're so clumsy when you're under 30 seconds. And look at that move.
Knight
Rook
f5,
d5.
he's taking it right away.
Yes, knight d4 check. That's a great tactic.
The pawn can be
24
taken.
seconds.
Oh, he's panicking now. This is not
F6.
enough. Black
F-
is actually better.
He's going to play f6 at some point. Take away the g5 square for the knight.
Yep.
Oh, he goes for more.
He's trying to... Okay, knight g5 is a threat, but look, at this point, with 20 seconds left, Black has done more than enough. The b6 pawn is defended by the bishop on g1. He
19
also can't take a
seconds.
draw.
19 seconds. He needs to come up with something.
MVL cannot repeat. Arjun would love that, of course. That would win him the match. MVL
But
needs to win.
What's being threatened here? What's MVL thinking about?
No, he king g8, I would play.
That's a good pre-move.
King
But he's
g8.
down a minute.
Yep, get out of the pin. Finally, use that knight. Bring it into the game. Knight
Black,
g4.
Black needs to get the knight on a good square like e4, knight d6.
There it is.
But he's going to... Oh, king g2, queen d5?
Also, remember,
not.
rook c7 is coming. With
16 seconds.
threats on g7. If white pulls this off, this will be incredible.
He's getting ready to pre-move.
I'm waiting for rook c7. Remember, b7 can't happen. It's being controlled. The queen is also pinning the knight here.
Or MVL's willing to sack that knight for a pawn if it gets too
Definitely.
far. And then he's going to use the queen to check and check and check.
I'm surprised by knight f7. It feels like he's going to the wrong side of the board, but oh no, he drops the b pawn.
And now it's 55 to 10 and you don't even have that pass
Don't
pawn.
even have that dangerous pass pawn. Queen e4.
And that
Oh,
hangs the rook. There's
yep,
queen,
queen
c4.
c4.
Everything's hanging here.
It's a messy game. The players are not going to play perfectly, but with 6.5 seconds left, MVL knows he's done enough to bring this back and level it at 1-1.
4 seconds, not enough time, and the position's not enough. Wow.
No, this is incredible. 2.5 is just a matter of running out the clock, and despite some decent pre-moves here, it's too little, too late, and MVL and Team Vitality bring it back to a level match at 1-1.
That is incredible. He found a couple knight moves, found the way to promote that queen. He earned it.
Yeah, think about how a queen just appeared on the board out of nowhere there. The calculations were insane, and let's not forget, he found move after move, b5, e5, knight e5, probably like 2 to 3